welcome to Impossible to Say. My name is Emily Proctor.
And my name is Kat Wellington. So happy to be here. Hope everyone had a beautiful Thanksgiving. Emily, we can start with you. How was yours?
I'm just great. Can't really complain. Actually, that's not
Actually,
true.
I can complain.
Actually, no, it was great. I was able to stay local, which was nice. I didn't have to do a lot of traveling. Um, I love my aunt to pieces. Like she's the
Me
best,
too.
but she is a very healthy cook. And
Oh,
yeah, and like Thanksgiving, like most of the things, it's like literally carbs and gravy and like vats of butter and just like not healthy stuff. But she did go ahead and make a pretty healthy Thanksgiving meal. But
sh-
luckily, as a child of divorced parents and having a significant other, I did get to do 3 Thanksgivings in a row. So it made up for it.
oh.
Yeah.
So she
So
cooked everything and did it really healthy?
for the most part, I will say best turkey I have ever had, like,
Uh, oh, that's good.
show-stopping, amazing, and, like, I don't like, I'm a ham girl. Like, if there's ham and turkey on the table, most of the time, I'm gonna take the ham, you know?
Right.
Um, but it was excellent, but, like, the stuffing was just not like, I'm good with Stouffer's. Like,
Stovetop or Stouffer's?
a stovetop? Yeah, stovetop. Go with stovetop. Green bean casserole is one of my, like, top 5 favorite foods, like, of all time. Like, to me, sure, it's seasonal, but I don't think it should be seasonal. Um, she made it with, like, real green beans, so it just, like I need it to be, like, mushy. Like, I need it to all, like,
It has to
mesh
be canned.
together. It has to be canned green beans. Um, but otherwise, I mean, it was great. Had a lot of fun hanging out with my cousins. My cousins are drinking now. Um,
Wow.
which is really exciting. Yeah, I walked in and obviously they're underage, clearly, but they were making, like, rum and cokes, and I was like, "Whoa, I'm usually the cousin that's drinking, like, you guys don't drink." So that was fun. Got to have a couple of beers with my cousin, which was lovely.
That
I
is
was
fun.
incredibly hungover on Thanksgiving. I don't know, did
Okay.
you do, like, a Thanksgiving Eve when you were there?
No, I have to tell you, I had a pretty sad Thanksgiving, unfortunately.
No.
No, it just I didn't do anything. I went to a bar, because, I was supposed to go with my boyfriend's family, and his
Mhm.
stepmom cut off part of her finger, so we had to and it was like I had just gotten ready, we were about to leave, and she had to go to the hospital, so they just
Oh my
canceled.
god.
So Miles and I went no, horrible, she's okay, thank God. But Miles and I literally went to Jameson's, a bar that we go to all the time, you've been there, and had chicken
Yep.
fingers.
Oh
And
my
we
god,
and
that's
we didn't
like
go out. It was cute, it was fun, but I think we were both, like, missing our families a little bit because he's coming home with
mhm.
me for Christmas. So he was, like, kind of like, "Damn, I don't get either holiday with my family."
Yeah.
And I was also just kind of you don't think you're gonna care, but then everyone leaves LA and everyone's with their families, and I was, like, FaceTiming my brothers a lot, and I was just like I think if I would've gone and done something, I would've been, like, totally fine, but I was a little bit like, "Okay, yay,
Yeah, felt like you
yay."
completely missed out on a Thanksgiving.
Yeah, I mean, I did that Friendsgiving, the weekend prior, so I, like, got all my Thanksgiving foods in. I didn't get to have a green bean casserole, though, so maybe I'll do that for I'm having, like, a holiday dinner here. Maybe I'll do that. I feel like you and I love that more than and my mom and my grandma love it, but, like, it is definitely I told Miles, I was like, "I'll make green bean casserole." He's like, "Don't make that."
I mean, like, it looks like shit.
I mean, it
Like, it
literally
straight up
is just like
it
shit.
is. It, like, literally looks like vomit, but it is
Yeah.
so good. So
It's
good.
so good, but you said that it should be not seasonal, but I think it has to be seasonal because, if that was served up to me at a different time, I think it would be a little bit off-putting, and I hate to be the
Like,
one to say that.
green bean casserole on, like, the 4th of July at a cookout. You're right.
Yeah.
It takes away from, like, the allure of green bean
Yeah.
casserole.
We only need same with stuffing. I really don't know how stovetop makes it throughout the year because who's buying it, but, it's really only good on Thanksgiving to me.
Yeah. No, you're absolutely right. 100%. I do think, like, I'm definitely, like, a sides girl. Like, I don't really care about, like I already said, the turkey, it doesn't matter, like, I'm a sides bitch for
Me
sure.
too. Like, I don't like, I'll never care about a turkey. And even, like, at my Friendsgiving, we just had rotisserie chicken, which, like, I objectively like, but I still only cared about the sides. And now I'm just
Yeah.
realizing we didn't have any rolls. Like, I love rolls.
Mm. My aunt had the best dinner rolls possible.
You have to, like,
Like,
keep saying the dishes that you like just in case she listens. You're
that's so
like, "The
funny,
turkey, the rolls."
all Thanksgiving, well, not all Thanksgiving, but my grandparents were kind enough to ask me about how my blog was going.
Okay.
And I said, "Well, the podcast is doing great, and we're on YouTube now." And then my uncle's dad, who I don't know, like, really at all, I guess I met him a couple times when I was a child, don't remember him, asking me where he can watch, how
Mhm.
he can listen, and I was like, "Well, I don't really think like, no offense, I just don't think you'd really love it." So we were talking
Yeah.
about how it's on YouTube, so if my family's here, hi,
Hi, all.
hello.
Hi, Emily's great uncle. Is that who that would be, your great uncle?
I don't even know, I mean, it's like my uncle's dad, so I have no idea. I don't fucking know.
Yeah, I don't know either. I don't know the family tree like that.
Once you get to, like, the second cousins and the great aunts and uncles, you lost me.
Completely. So, okay,
Can't do
back to
it.
your Thanksgiving Eve.
Mhm.
I like obviously not drama that I can say, but I was like jealous that there was kind of some like high school rekindlings. Like I was like
Mhm.
sad. How was it? Was it fun?
It was really nice. So we did opt out on going downtown, which is what we usually do, as you know. And we did like a little bit more of like a casual, like low key, like dinner and drinks
But you
at a
still blacked
bar.
out.
I got so fucked up to the point where the next day I'm talking to Kyle's brother and his girlfriend, and I was, like, bringing things up, and they're like, "We talked about this last night," and I'm like, "What are you talking about? I don't remember." And then, just the more that we kept, like, rehashing the night, I was like, "Oh my god," like, I kinda blacked out.
Yeah, you browned.
But
That's okay
yeah.
though.
It's completely fine. I mean, I had, like, genuinely, like, 1,000,000 beers. Obviously, I footed the bill as well. I just sent everyone a a photo of the receipt today. I'm like, "Pay up. Thanksgiving's over." So
Yeah. You can't
but
send
yeah,
it
it
on the
was good.
holiday, but the day after.
I couldn't even
Hi.
send it couldn't even do it over the weekend. It was too much.
And
But
you
yeah,
guys
it
didn't
was
end up going to more bars after? That's kind of shocking to me.
unless you count my office that's directly next door to the bar that we went to.
You went and drank at your office?
For literally like 15, 20 minutes. I mean, we were directly next door. We were trying to figure out if we wanted to go to another bar, if we were just going to go drink back at Kyle's house, like what we wanted to do. And obviously, me being wasted, I was like, oh my God, come see my office. I just hung up my Christmas tree. My bosses won't mind. And I mean, it was like 8 of us. And we just went and literally sat down for 10 minutes. And then I realized that I needed to get home as soon as possible. So I kicked everyone out and we just went back to Kyle's briefly. So,
Okay, cool. So you broke into your office for Thanksgiving Eve.
broke into
And
the
that
office.
didn't raise any red flags to anyone at work?
No, I mean, it's like my home.
No, I know, but, like,
My
if they have
house.
cameras or something, like, you can just walk in at any time?
Yeah. I mean, like,
Yeah,
I'll go in
perfect.
occasionally on the weekends just for fun, make a coffee. We don't have an espresso machine. There's one in the office, so I'll use that.
Okay, perfect. Maybe you can add that to
Yeah.
your Christmas list,
Oh,
an
that's not a bad
espresso.
idea. Yeah.
Also, we did post our Christmas list on Patreon if anyone's interested in that. Nothing super groundbreaking, but hey, it's coming up. We gotta get our gifts in, so have you finished all
I
your gift buying?
No, and I really like it's at that point because I mean, obviously with it being Black Friday, I didn't do a single Black Friday
Me
shopping
neither.
anywhere. I haven't done any Cyber Monday. I've done nothing. And I like truly am at the point, I mean, maybe it's because I've been drinking for like 4 or 5 days straight, so I'm just like my hangover keeps compounding, so I've been a real bitch today. I just like
Okay.
hate someone because I was back at work. I hate someone who's like, "Yep, I got all my shopping done." I'm like,
Yeah, it's
"Fuck
really
off."
annoying. It's really fucking annoying. Like, congrats.
I'm so happy for you, but also not. I don't know. This year I like don't even have usually I have an idea for most people in my life, like I just need
Mhm.
to pull the trigger and execute. I don't I got nothing up there right now.
Yeah, I got some stuff for my dad and my stepmom. I haven't done my mom or my stepdad. And like my brothers, obviously, I've probably said this before, but I entered a pact with my siblings when I was probably like 6 that we would never get each other gifts. And it's like the best thing that's ever happened to me. So I don't have to worry about them and they don't have to worry about me. And it's lovely. Um, and then I've probably said on here before that like I tried to get, we like, we fully got my little siblings in on it. Have I talked about this on the pod?
No,
Probably.
I don't think
Um,
so, 'cause I
well,
didn't know that.
we pulled them aside into a meeting and we were like, "Hey guys, so since we were younger than you, we decided that we weren't gonna get each other gifts." And like, this isn't like if I wanted to get my brother something, I would, just not on Christmas, not on like birthdays. We just don't. And honestly, none of us care like at all. I don't expect anything
Mhm.
from them. That it's just been our entire lives. And so we like pulled my siblings and we are like, hey, like, cause they're now, this was last year, but they're now 12 and 10. Yeah. And we are like, we don't get each other gifts. And this is like our sibling pact. And if you guys want to be in it, like you can be in it so that you guys don't have to get us anything. Which is like obviously fucked because we're full grown adults
Well,
and they're 10 and 12. But like this is like obviously, my dad got mad at us, and then we weren't allowed to have them in the pact because he was like, "You guys have to get your little siblings stuff."
oh my
But I
god.
was like, "This is me, like, treating them as a sibling. Like, me not
Yeah,
inviting them to this pact would be messed up." Like, obviously,
it'd
I
be
didn't
wrong.
not when they were really little, but now they're, like, old enough where I'm like, "Okay, you guys, you don't have to worry about us. We don't have to worry about you." And they have
Yeah,
everything. Like we have such a big family that anything on their list like gets done. So I'm
they'll
like,
get it, yeah.
but I do understand that I'd like buying them things. I really do. And I give them gifts like for their birthdays and random times, but yeah, they're not in the pact. I got to get them. I called my brother and asked him what he wanted, the 10-year-old, and he asked me for an iPad. So
I can't believe he doesn't have one already.
he does. He had 2. I guess one of them is an old one that's, like, not updating anymore, so fair enough, like, we've all been there. But the other
Yeah,
one, he broke, so I'm
naturally.
sure someone in my family has gotten him it already and is just telling him that they haven't,
Yeah.
but, yeah, I told him no, and so I'm getting him some Pokemon cards. That's what he
Oh,
wants.
that's perfect. That's so weird.
Yeah.
Kyle asked for that for Christmas as well, so he's got a lot in common with your 10-year-old brother. Perfect.
Also, I've already given Miles, like, most of his gifts, which sucks. I hate that
I
about
s
myself.
I saw your TikTok. I'm dying to know what came in that you, like, couldn't keep in that you just had to tell him about.
It's not even that exciting. I got him AirPod Maxes, that's what they're called, right?
Yeah, mhm.
Yeah, got him AirPod Maxes. I ordered them the day before, they came in the next day, and I was like, "Ooh, one of your Christmas presents came in." He was like, "Well, it's obviously, like, from Amazon." And I was like, "No, it's not." Like, whatever.
Right.
And then I mean, I posted a TikTok about it, but I just kept being like, "Do you want your gift now?" And I just every single time, "Yes, yeah, I do want it." And I'm like,
I
"You're
love
supposed
that.
to say no." And he's like, "Well, I want it." So then I just
Yeah.
ended up giving it to him. And I mean, he, to be fair, loved them, wears them every day. So like, whatever. And then I got him a t-shirt that I ended up giving him. So it's just like, it's just,
Do you
I'm
think
bad
he
at it.
do you think he's doing it on purpose so then you just keep getting him more stuff so he has something to open, like, on Christmas?
No, he's like, don't get me anything else. He thought that was it and was like, be done. And then he
Yeah.
guessed another one. By the way, I just have to buy like, when I'm in a relationship, I just have to buy a million gifts that's how I am.
It's
Um,
so hard not to.
It's so hard not to. And he wears this pair of brat green Crocs every single fucking day of his life and like love them to death. But I was thinking about how if I got him Boston, like the Birkenstock Bostons, he would wear them all the time because he really is a like sweatpants, like the second he gets home from work, sweatpants, Crocs, sweatshirt, you know? So
Perfect.
he's always in the same outfit and just likes to slip a shoe on. He likes the ease of slipping a shoe on, which I totally
Mhm.
get. So I got him those, and then he said he was asking his mom for them. So I had to tell him that I got them.
Oh my god. So he literally knows everything then. Do you have any like, inkling what he's gonna get you for Christmas?
No, I have none, and I found out it's, like, not an object, so I really have no idea.
Oh, an
But I saw the
experience gift,
I
maybe?
don't know, but he said it's not an experience, so I don't really know. But I saw he texted Brett
It's
about it.
nothing.
Yeah. Texted Brett about it, and then Brett responded, like, "If someone got me that, I would cry." Like, he showed me Brett's responses. So, I don't know. I'm
Oh
really
my god, well,
excited.
if it's Brett approved, then it's fine. I can't wait to see Miles 'cause that's probably gonna be, like, one of the first 3 questions I ask him when I see him. Dying to know.
Well,
I be
I'll
in the
already
loop.
have it by then.
Oh, I guess that's true. Well, I'm seeing you before Christmas.
I know, but we're gonna do it all
Do
before
it here.
because
Yeah.
I don't wanna, like, have to bring anything.
Yeah, that makes sense, duh.
Anyway, random ass tangent, but
Well, to keep going on that tangent just real quickly, I've never bought Kyle, like, because I feel like this is one of the first gifts you buy a partner when you first start dating them, like perfume or cologne or something,
mhm.
and I've never bought Kyle cologne because he's used the same, like, Ralph Lauren cologne since high school, actually, probably middle school, and it's
Like the
finally
same bottle or just he just keeps getting the
Yes,
same scent? Oh, okay,
yes,
so he
the
doesn't
same
use it
bottle.
much.
Well, he's so funny, like, when he puts it on, he'll, like, spray it in front of him and then just, like, walk through it, and, like, that's
Mhm.
it, just, like, 1 spritz, and I'm like, "You can put a little bit more on, it's not gonna
Yeah,
kill
don't be
you."
afraid to spray it on your body too.
Yeah, like, it's completely fine. So, it's finally starting to run out, so I was like, "Okay, like, I'll buy him some cologne this year," which I, like, kinda, like, was telling him that I was gonna do like, months ago because he kept talking about how it was running out, and I was like, "Well, don't buy any, like, I'll do it." Sunday morning, this past Sunday, we're laying in bed, not speaking, on our phones. He gets up, goes in the bathroom, walks back out. He's like, "Oh, I just bought cologne, by the way." And I was like, "What?" "I'm getting you that for Christmas." I said, "What do you mean you just got it?" He goes, "Oh, well, I just" like, this is such a red flag. He was like, "Well, Barstool just posted it, like, Jersey Jerry had, like, a $50 cologne." I'm like, "Cancel it. Return it. I'm not buying you $50 Barstool cologne. Like, I'm gonna buy you
Yeah.
something nice." I was so annoyed. So, I don't know
So,
if
I
I'm gonna do
mean,
it.
well, you can get him another one in addition to his bar stool.
I don't even want no, like, even if I wasn't buying him cologne, I'd be like, "Return this shit. You're not wearing Barstool cologne. That's so embarrassing."
I hope it at least, like, smells good. Can he cancel it? Like, he probably can't return it.
I have no fucking clue. If he does get it, he's gonna have to gift it to someone, like Doug. Doug would love that.
Oh, he would love that.
And Doug is like a
Um,
cologne, like, guy. Like, he has, like how women have, like, perfume trays, he has, like, a cologne tray, so
Miles will not wear cologne at all. Never has,
Really? Not even
never
on, like,
will.
special occasions?
No, he won't. He hates, like, a smell on him. It makes me
That
really annoyed.
well, that's, like yeah, I mean, very similar to Kyle. Kyle, like, is like, "I don't want it to be too overpowering." I'm like, "Well, you're supposed to smell it. Like, that is the point. So why do you even put it on?"
Well, also, I've tried to explain that, like, you can get one that's a lot more subtle
Yeah,
and, like, more of, like, a musk than, like, a really intense scent, but he's not interested at this time, so
and that's okay. It's not for everyone.
it's not for everyone, but it is kinda nice. It can be nice.
Yeah, absolutely. I love a good cologned up man, don't get me wrong.
I know, I was like, I just wanna, like, because he has a human smell, obviously, not to talk about our boyfriends for so long. Like, he smells good, I'm saying, but, like, it's nice to be able to associate a smell with someone as well.
Yeah, yeah. I completely agree. I like the things that people do where they get, like for, like, engagements or weddings where they'll have, like, a specific cologne or
Mhm.
perfume that they wear on their wedding day because this is so fucking stupid, but the first time Kyle and I went to Chicago, I bought this dumb-ass perfume bottle from Zara, and now every time I put it on, I do think about Kyle and I's first Chicago trip, which is cute.
Aw, that is really
Yeah,
cute.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it is really true that you tie, like, memories to smells, and sometimes, like,
Mhm.
a smell will fucking hit you in the face and brings trauma
It takes
back.
it takes you back. Yeah, that's like
Yeah.
me being in Baltimore this weekend. Whew, my god.
What do you mean?
The smell of the city.
I am so excited to go back to Baltimore and smell that city. I'm really, really excited, and I know we have a lot of Baltimore girls here,
I'm
and
inviting everyone I have come into contact with to Baltimore when you were here. Like, literally every single person that comes across my desk, I'm like, "By the way, Kat and her boyfriend are coming home. We're going to Baltimore."
I know, I think we said it on here, but we're going to Purple Patio for the Ravens-Steelers game, and I'm bringing Miles, and it'll be he's been to Baltimore before to go to, um, can't remember the name, the Orioles stadium,
Camden Yards.
Camden Yards.
Mhm.
But he's never like experienced Baltimore, so I'm so excited, and I just haven't been back at all. And Emily, when I told Emily, she like started crying. Well, I don't know if she was serious or not, but I'm just so excited.
No, I was. I mean, I literally, like, started tearing up at work because it's just, like, a perfect day for me. Like, first of
Hmm.
all, a football game on a Saturday is so
Yeah.
exciting. I just went, like, tailgating, went to the Ravens game yesterday, and I think it's gonna ruin my entire week. I mean, obviously, the Ravens lost, but also, like, just drinking that much and then having to work today, like, it's fucked up my entire schedule this week. So
Yeah.
I can't wait for that, and then, like, to be able to tailgate and I'm not going to the game, so I don't have to worry about the stress of, like, leaving you guys and having FOMO. We get to all be
Hmm.
together. We play the Steelers too. It's perfect.
Yeah.
Can't
I'm
wait.
so excited. I do land at 2 a.m. the night before.
Perfect. I'm sure
I
that'll
just
be fine.
I'm like, I might as well just sleep in Baltimore at that point, but
Oh my god,
anyway.
yeah, you land at BWI. Perfect.
I know, but like, am I gonna get
I'm
a
sure
hotel or
Thomas would
something?
pick you up at 2 AM.
Right. Yeah, I'm sure he would. I'll just ask him. He probably would actually,
He
is the
literally
cute thing.
would. 100%.
Okay, I think maybe we should just move it on along to stories.
I would love nothing more. I have an advice I can
Yeah,
read.
please.
I think it's very interesting. I read it to Kyle before we started recording because I was
Ooh, okay.
curious, like, what his take was. Okay. Do y'all have any friends that seem to get along with your significant other better than you do? I recently have grown closer with a friend, we'll call her Kate, but instead of my boyfriend feeling like a third wheel when the three of us are together, suddenly I'm feeling like the third wheel. I'm trying to determine if this is a me problem or if she needs to hit the road. We built our friendship more on a one on one level, as you do, and found we have a lot in common when it comes to life experience and values. However, our personalities are pretty different. She's more fun loving, go with the flow, and I'm quite type A, not necessarily the life of the party. My boyfriend, however, has big golden retriever energy and loves to talk to anyone and everyone. We'll call him Ron. So naturally, Kate has gotten to know my boyfriend a bit here and there, but obviously she would primarily come over to hang out with me. Recently, Kate needed to stay with us for a night, and we were happy to have her. The three of us had a fun evening, made dinner, watched a movie, and by then it was pretty late. Ron stayed up a bit to clean the kitchen, and I headed to bed because I had to be up early. I randomly woke up around 1 a.m. to find his side of the bed still empty. I assumed he was just playing video games or something, so I didn't think much of it. But when he came to bed another hour later, I asked what he was doing. He had been talking to Kate. I was pretty pissed. Simply, what on earth could these two have to talk about for so long? He assured me that nothing even remotely weird happened. They weren't even drinking and no lines were crossed. Until that moment, he said he didn't even realize that this situation would be something that could upset me. Like I said, he's a talker and a night owl, and I'm not much of a jealous person. They were just talking about life apparently and didn't even notice the time. I let him know how much it bothered me and how inappropriate I thought it was for him to be alone with her, especially that late at night, and we squashed it. But honestly, I was pretty mad at Kate and felt super weird around her the next day, but I didn't address it with her. A few weeks went by and she reached out to me to make dinner plans with both Ron and me. I agreed to the plans only because this was something we had talked about previously, and since I had talked things over with Ron, I thought it would be fine. I assumed he would take a back seat for the night and Kate and I would drive the conversation. Things went off track almost immediately. Kate forgot to make dinner reservations, so I stepped outside to call a few places, and when I returned to the conversation, they hardly noticed I was there. They were in a deep discussion and were practically whispering. I felt like I was eavesdropping, which already made me uncomfortable. Even more so when I realized that she was sharing in explicit detail her recent sexual escapades from a weekend she spent with a married couple. It was honestly hard for me to put on a happy face and get through the night, but once she left, I again expressed my thoughts to Ron. Why was she discussing her sex life exclusively with my boyfriend? Also, I didn't hear the whole conversation, but she was basically bragging about her threesome with a married couple. Was she somehow implying that she's looking for something similar with us? Throughout the night, there were other small things she did that bothered me, such as taking a sip of Ron's drink, Ron paying for her food, and her taking a picture of Ron doing something she thought was funny. I ended up telling Ron that I'm no longer comfortable with the three of us hanging out. I may still hang out with her alone, but I don't see a reason for her to be around Ron. In summary, I guess I'm not really sure of her intentions. I don't feel like either of them really did anything wrong. It's just kind of weird to me. If she was also in a couple and her significant other was with us as well, I don't think anything would have been a red flag. But I guess since she's single, it just rubs me the wrong way. Maybe she and I are just in two different phases of life and we aren't as compatible as friends as I thought. I don't really feel like it's worth discussing with her, and I kind of want to just let our friendship fizzle. What are your guys' thoughts?
Hell no. That's my thought. Also, this
Uh,
is just full transparency, this is one of my stories as well.
what?
Um, and I've already heard it, and I thought it was fucking insane.
Yeah, I literally was, like, upstairs getting my notes together for the episode, and I ran downstairs. I was like, "I have to read this to Kyle because I was so curious, like, what his take was, especially, like, as a guy in a relationship."
I just think, like, all of it is really inappropriate, and I don't think a real friend would act like that.
I keep trying to, like, rationalize it and justify it, but the more I think about it, like, I really can't. And I guess, like, I mean, obviously with us, like, having boyfriends as well, like, I've tried to, like, put myself in that situation. And
Mhm.
I'm thinking like, okay, like I met a girl, she's not one of my like lifelong friends, as most of my friends are. Like she's newer, say I met her through work maybe. And I don't know, I just felt like if she was sleeping at my house and her and Kyle were up late at night talking, I'd be like, I don't know this girl that well. Like that makes me like pretty uncomfortable. I would
Yeah,
be
I mean, you can be
freaking out.
super secure in your relationship, and that would still make you uncomfortable. I remember there was one time with my ex-boyfriend who I did feel secure in the relationship, and he just, like, stayed up super late talking to this girl, and I, like, woke up in bed, and it was, like, 5 a.m. or, like, 3 a.m. or
Mhm.
something, and I went down and looked and was just kind of, like, sleuthing, because I didn't wanna, like, speak to anybody, and it did make
Yeah.
me uncomfortable. So, like, yeah. And also, even, like, putting in the shoes of again, like, putting myself in this situation, I'm very close with Kyle. I've known Kyle for so long now. I don't even think, I mean, maybe if we were all drunk and then, like, but if it was just me and him up and you had gone to bed
Yeah.
and there wasn't other friends there, not that I, like, don't wanna hang out and talk to him, but and not that anything would be inappropriate about it, but I still would be like, "Alright, Emily's going to sleep, I'm going to sleep." Like, I don't
Well,
know.
that's what I kept thinking. Like, in recent situations, like, me, Kyle, Doug, and Casey hang out all the time, and, like, if it was just me, Kyle, and Casey, and, like, I went to bed, like, I know Casey would be like, "Alright, I'm gonna hit the hay," or Kyle would be like, "Alright, I'm going to bed with Emily," and they're close as can be. Like, it doesn't make any
Yeah.
sense to me at all, and I mean, I don't know, I'm sure her boyfriend doesn't have, like, any bad intentions, and the friend might not
No.
either, but it's just, like, strange. It's very strange to me.
Yeah, I don't think he's necessarily in the wrong here. I think he was really naive to think, like, that wouldn't bother her. Like, I do think you should have some, think about it for a second and be like, "This is, like,
Yeah.
I should just go." Like, I think he is at fault a little bit for not just being like, "Oh, wait, this is a little weird. Should just go to bed with my girlfriend."
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, I guess after the conversation, then it shouldn't happen again. But I just think, I don't know. The girl seems like she might not have great intentions. And why does she like she specifically asked to get dinner with both of them
Mhm.
instead of
Yeah, I
like
thought that
I
was
would
weird.
always, especially if it's like a newer friend, I'd always rather just hang out with them than like hang out with them and their boyfriend. That's just the way it is. Like I want to hang out with
Yeah.
my girls. So that is weird. And then her talking about sex and stuff, I think she just like either wants to fuck you guys or wants to fuck him, but she sounds like bad news.
Yeah, it had been one thing if the girl who wrote the story had already heard of the story of her sleeping with the married couple and she was just, like, maybe filling the boyfriend in, like, that's one thing, but if it was
Mhm.
news to the girl who wrote in and she had never heard it before, like, that is a massive red flag to me. I feel like to talk to someone you don't really know that well, to talk to their partner about their sex life. I don't know, I just think that's strange, very weird.
I do too. Have you ever had a situation with I guess I'm sure you've had girls, like, flirting with Kyle, but, like, have you ever had a situation where you feel like a friend is, like, overstepping?
Not necessarily. There was a girl, I feel like I talked about this on one of like the very first episodes of the podcast. There was a girl in my sorority who every time Kyle would come visit me, like, because at one point, like towards the end of junior year or senior year, like he was probably weirdly like in Maryland every 6 to 8 weeks. Like it was pretty
Mhm.
common for him to visit and for a long distance relationship like that. But she would hit on him non fucking stop. Like I literally brought him to a date party, like, as my date where, like, other people have dates too, it's not like we were
Right.
just, like, in a frat basement, and she would not stop trying to dance with him, and then a month or 2 later, he was back, and we were all at ATO, and she's dancing all over him, trying to get him to dance, like, I mean, at that point, like, it was hilarious, but while I
Yeah.
was blackout drunk in a frat basement, I didn't find it that funny then, and she was older, so I never, like, approached her about it, it was just, like, wasn't worth my time, and she wasn't like a prominent figure in our sorority, so I was just like,
Right.
"Whatever, she's a weirdo, it's fine." But that was honestly it. Oh my god, there is actually something crazy happening right now, I completely forgot about this. Um, Kyle is bartending, as you guys know, and he, like, will occasionally get hit on, and
Ooh,
I
I had no
guess
idea.
I guess this girl that he went to elementary school with was there and with a group of friends that Kyle knew, and they were just, like, catching up, chatting, whatever, and she left the bar and slid into his DMs. Mind you, they followed each other for years, like, Kyle
Okay.
not he doesn't post on Instagram anymore, but, like, he used to post me, like, I'm on his Instagram. So she slid in his DMs and basically was like, "Are you still at the bar?" And Kyle's like, "Yes, still working." And she
Yeah,
was
I
like,
work
"Oh,
here.
okay." Yeah, she's like, "Oh, okay. Like, you made the best spicy margarita ever. Like, I loved it. It was so good." Um, and he was like, "Oh, thanks. Like, glad you enjoyed it." And she's like, "Yeah, like, I definitely want to come back and have another one soon." And Kyle just like liked the message or whatever. And then she replied again and asked if he wanted to go get drinks. And he was like, "No, sorry. Like, I have a girlfriend." And she's like, "Oh, okay. Like, bummer." This past weekend, she started liking his Instagram stories.
Would I know who this is or no?
No, because I didn't know who it was
Oh,
either.
okay.
I just thought that was crazy. He told me yesterday, I posted a story of him, his brother, and his brother's girlfriend. I'm not in it, but it is my post, and she
Yeah.
fucking liked it. I was like, "Okay, what's happening here?"
That's crazy for him to be like, "I have a girlfriend," and then her still, like, move because we all know, like, liking an Instagram story is just flirting.
I mean, it's, like, not like they have been friends, like, they haven't seen each
No.
other in probably, like, 20 years, like, it's when they went to elementary school together or preschool together, because if it was, like, any other bitch that he's known, like, sure, whatever, but, like, she's
Yeah.
fully hitting on him,
If it's, like,
so,
actually a friend, then sure,
yeah.
like, that's fine.
So, dying to see
Ooh.
her out at some point.
Yeah, and, like, I guess, I mean, maybe because he hasn't posted in years, like, you could assume that they're old
Yeah,
photos, but after he says, "I have a girlfriend," then you hear, like, his whole like, a lot of his
yeah.
Instagram.
Well, that's, like, the sliding in the DM saying, like, "Shoot your shot," whatever, like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I didn't care about that at all, but after he said he had a girlfriend and then to like my reposted story, me acting like she knows and pays attention to that, is
I'm sure she
insane.
did, like, I feel like assuming that she didn't is, like, less likely, I don't know. I'm
I
sure she
mean,
knew.
unless yeah,
If
I
it
don't
if
know.
it was us, we would know, you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly, like, girls pay attention to that stuff.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
yeah, that's recent. We'll see how that goes.
what was the last sentence of the girl was she what that was asking for advice? What did she say?
She basically said that she wants to let the friendship fizzle out, and was wondering what her thoughts are, and I think that's a great idea.
Yeah, if she's not, like, a long-term friend that means a lot to you, it seems like she's just gonna cause more trouble than, like and because I think she said that she might, like, continue to hang out with her one-on-one,
Mhm.
which is fine, but even that, I don't feel like I personally would want to just because it just seems like she has really strange intentions and she's making you feel bad. I don't know.
Yeah, I just don't think it's worth, yeah, getting closer for her to possibly do some, like, fucked up shit down the road. Um, but, I mean, yeah, I guess, like, if you guys do hang out one-on-one, there really is no harm until she starts asking to constantly hang out with you and your man, which I feel like she would do. She already did ask to get dinner with the 3 of you with the 2 of them. So
I literally don't care who it is. If I like found my like if I woke up and I found my boyfriend, well, I guess this did happen to me, but like talking
yeah,
to
I was
some
gonna say.
bitch. I know, but and I was furious because I was just like, "What?" And then anyway, that ended up turning into like a whole different fight that I don't need to get into, but I was like, and for some context of this girl that he was downstairs talking to, she had openly said she was trying to fuck him, like to everyone. So it wasn't even like it was some harmless girl. It was like some girl who like had made it very clear and was
Yeah.
like she was doing all this crazy shit to me because I was there for most of the night until I went to sleep of like just trying to be like super competitive with me and I'm not a competitive person and I already knew because she'd like told everyone she's really into him and whatever and she was
Mhm.
like bummed that he brought his girlfriend. Okay, I'm fucking sorry. Jesus Christ. And she
Ah.
would just pop in unannounced. Like it was so weird. She was the neighbor and she would just pop in unannounced, start drinking alcohol. Like it was she was a bizarre lady.
It's like at that point too, like, if everyone else is on the same page and knows that, like, this girl is constantly, like, hitting on your partner, and then for your partner to just, like, ignore that, it
Yeah.
makes you look so stupid, which is why, like, I feel like women get so angry because at the end of the day, like, you're making me look so dumb because I'm out
That's
here, like, defending
exactly
you and dating you.
That's
Like
exactly how I felt because I was like this is kind of like Ron, like I said, like not necessarily his fault, but also like have a little bit of foresight and be like, that's probably not, I don't know if foresight's the correct word to use there, but like that's probably not the right thing to do.
yeah.
Um, in defense, my ex-boyfriend was super fucked up, but at the same time, like I was like making jokes about her all night because she was being fucking insane and she was trying to
Mhm.
be like she was oh my God, this bitch, y'all. She was doing like first of all, we're like competing in ping pong and like I'm just better at ping pong than her, so I'm obviously like beating her, but she's trying so hard. And this girl's doing like cartwheels, like genuinely doing like cartwheels to try to
Wasn't she
get
older too?
and not like definitely yes, probably like 30, not like old.
Oh, okay. For some
But
reason, I thought she was in her, like, late 30s doing cartwheels and playing ping pong with kids in their early
I just
20s.
like had never seen anything like it. Like I was like, been with this man for years.
Mhm.
Like it's just and she comes in just like so ready like to flirt with him the whole night and I can't even I was like I'm not going to compete with you. Like it's not a
Mhm.
competition. Like you're not cute. You're acting super weird. Like I don't really know
Yeah.
what to do here. And it wasn't a situation where I like didn't trust him. So I was like I'm going to bed and also y'all are weird. So I don't want to hang out with you.
That's the thing is it's
And
like we're
then
not
yeah, exactly what you said.
Mhm.
Sorry to cut you off, but like
No, you're
exactly what
fine.
you said. I was just like that like makes her feel good and like she's like won this like competition that
Mhm.
she created of like
Yep.
being able to keep my boyfriend out of my bed for the whole night. Like
Yeah.
congrats.
Well, it's like you're not angry necessarily, like, at them for, like, hanging out with someone like that, but it's like, I know your intentions were never to cheat on me, obviously, but, like, the fact that you're just, like, validating them enough and giving them just enough attention to where it's, like, in their mind, they're like, "Oh, maybe they don't fuck with their girlfriend as much as people think," you know?
Yeah, exactly. It's just
It's
like
so frustrating.
don't make me feel stupid. I will go insane. And I did go insane.
Yeah, and that's why I also think Snapchat should be abolished.
I agree completely.
That app it seems so harmless and so not intentional with some of the actions on there, but
Yeah,
I
I mean,
have
we could go
fucking
into it with
beef.
that.
Yeah, I have fucking beef with that app.
I
Ugh.
really, I don't know if I'll ever like fully tell that story, but like, I Do not date me and Snapchat someone else because I will go fucking insane.
And it just seems so stupid because it's such a stupid app. So to, like, get that angry about something like that, but, like, it is seriously, like I
Like,
literally red with
why?
rage.
Why are
Yeah,
you doing
literally
that?
exactly. Exactly. Oh
So
my god.
weird. Y'all are weird as hell.
Mm.
Um, okay. Well, that was like my really good story that I was really excited about. And
I'm
this one's
so
kind of just
sorry.
like,
I feel
no, no,
sick about
no.
that.
Oh my God, no. We like rarely ever pick the same one. So
I know.
totally fine. I was excited. Okay. This is a pretty strange one. Never heard anything like it,
Okay.
but here we go. Weird story time, and I would love your thoughts. And like all of your other listeners and writers, I apologize for the length of this. 4 years ago, I moved back to my hometown in Ireland for a year and worked in a local pub. I was post grad, single, and just wanting to have a fun year before finding a serious job, and thought this was the perfect hiatus from reality while getting to live in a place I've spent every summer and growing up my whole family are from. Well, one day at the pub I was working at, a very attractive guy asked to buy me a beer. It was my first week working and also like 1 p.m., first hour of my shift. So I declined, saying, can't drink on the job. And he said, don't worry, I'll wait. I was confused by this, but continued my shift. And this young man waited, ordering snacks throughout the day with his friends for 8 hours until I got off and bought me the said drink. I obviously found this so hot and sat and had a few drinks with him and flirted a little bit. The flirting continued for a few weeks over interactions like this, and one drunken night, I basically went up to him and said, you're coming home with me. Gives me the ick that I did this now, but whatever. I wasn't looking for anything serious, was enjoying being single, and I was just loving the flirty banter this young man had. We hooked up and stayed up all night chatting, but here's where it gets weird. The first thing, I went to go pee and walked out to him reading my manifestation journal. He then proceeded to say things out loud, mocking me, and I was so embarrassed and simply wanted to pass away. There was nothing overly embarrassing in it, but it was just so personal and so uncomfortable to hear him reading out loud my future goals and deepest wishes. I finally got it away from him and said I had to shower for work and asked him to leave. After this, I decided to just move on as I didn't think much about this, except it as a fun night. And beyond the massive invasion of privacy, it was all fun and fine. A few nights later, however, I'm out with my friends and I see him and I say hi, and this man looks right past me and keeps walking like I was fucking invisible. I was so taken aback because it was the same pub I had worked in and we flirted at. And also, I get ghosting, but in person felt so strange. We are both adults in a small town, just immature behavior from a grown man. The plot thickens. I'm walking to work one afternoon a few weeks later, and his brother and brother's friends are on the other side of the road. You guys, I couldn't believe because in broad daylight, these men start catcalling me, mimic my American accent, and are straight up saying the foulest things from across the street. Keep in mind, I've also never met his brother, who's in his 20s. I just know of him because it's a small town. I'm so taken aback by this that I end up calling my mom as soon as I'm away from these freaks and literally was contemplating why the hell I'm being bullied by a brother of a one night stand. Anyways, I again decide to just get past all of this, and the one night stand ends up hard lunging his new girlfriend on Instagram a mere month later. I start to piece together that this may have been a part of his sus behavior and unfortunately probably overlapped with this girl, but honestly want nothing to do with him or his creepy, harassing brother. The year comes to an end, and I move back home, and I end up meeting the love of my life, and I'm now happily married and so happy. I love happily married and so happy. This saga was all 4 years ago, and I met my now husband the week I moved back. The reason I feel compelled to write this in is because my husband and I have recently moved back to my hometown in Ireland for another year of adventure. We wanted to be by my family, travel a bit before settling down in the States, and have been having the most incredible time. However, again to my shock, the one night stand's brother still catcalls me and mimics me every time I see him out, including this past weekend. It's only if I'm out with friends and not my husband. I've only run into him a handful of times, but it deeply upsets me and makes me uncomfortable. Also, while I was out this weekend, one night Stan himself was at the same bar his brother was harassing me from, walked up to me and said hi, and I ignored him completely. The bartender laughed watching this interaction, which felt like such a fun, full circle moment from when he ignored me years ago. What would you ladies do in this situation? My husband is not the jealous type, but I don't want to make him uncomfortable if he hears this man from so long ago's little brother saying anything weird. I had told him the story about the weird brother when we first started dating, but never imagined this would still be all happening years later. My husband is such a kind guy, and is loving his experience here, and I don't want to have that ruined by this. Should I confront the little weirdo? I normally pretend not to hear him, tell my husband it's still happening, or just hope it eventually ends because it's not worth the drama in our teeny tiny Irish town.
Oh my goodness, I don't even know what to say to that. I've never heard of, like, a one night like, this is like a one night like, it's a full-blown X, it seems like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and the brother was not involved at all.
In any way. The way that I was thinking, like, while you were reading, it sounds like I don't know, like, I feel like this man either, like, really caught feelings for her or, like, definitely cheated, and they are, what's the word I'm looking for? They are, like come on, not, you don't
Projecting?
yeah, projecting. Like, that's the only thing I could think of, you know what I mean? Like, they're being such assholes because they're projecting because he, like, fucked up or they feel like she really wronged him because maybe he really liked her? I have no fucking clue.
Or it's the situation like she said, and, like, there was some overlap with his, like,
Mhm.
girlfriend or whoever, and then he kind of, like, blamed that on her, so was like,
He,
"Fuck
like,
her,
twisted
she's
it.
like, she's a
Yeah.
bitch, like,
Mhm.
she seduced me," or whatever. I mean, who God
Yeah.
knows, but then, like, maybe said something to his brother about her, and I mean, he obviously lied and, like, said something probably bad things to his brother about her, but, like, still, even if I, like, talked shit about someone to my brothers, they would never harass them in public for years.
That's what I'm saying, like, the one-time occurrence, like, as shitty as it is, like, alright, fine, whatever, but
Yeah.
years later, for a one-night stand is crazy.
And also,
I
like,
don't
how
know.
does he even remember to, like, "Oh, I need to fucking harass this girl."
It's insane. I mean, the brother sounds like a genuine, like, piece of shit.
Yeah,
I
he
don't
just sounds
part
like an idiot.
so immature. Part of me, like, I mean, we've talked about this on here before, there truly is, like, nothing better than, like, telling a man off when you are every possible way, like, in the right, you know what I mean? Like, especially at a bar if they're just being, like, full blown a fucking asshole, but part of me wants to tell her just, like, not say anything and ignore him, to not give him, like, any kind of validation. He sounds like the type of guy who would absolutely love to get into a verbal altercation with this
Yeah.
woman.
I know, that's the really hard part is, like, I know I would wanna say something, but
Yes, ugh,
I'm really glad she didn't say something, especially when it's just him and all his friends alone on the like, and she's alone on the other side of the
yeah,
street. Like, you can't do anything in that situation, you're unsafe. Um,
mhm.
in the bar, like, I probably would, but again, yeah, like, this is the exact type of guy, like, that is what he wants, which makes it so hard to deal with.
I think I would just continue on the path of ignoring and, like, I hate to have a man step in, but, like, if she was with her husband and he did that, I would expect the husband to probably say something.
Yeah, I would too. I also think she asked if she should tell her husband it's continuing. I 100% would, like, because he
I
seems like a
would
really
for
nice
sure.
guy. You guys have a great
Yeah,
relationship. Like, there's no way I would not. Like, if I got home from the bar, I would just be like, the brother was there again, and he did it again. I just don't know what to do. I don't know if I should say something or I don't know. And then,
yeah,
like, hopefully that would prompt him to, like, which he doesn't do it in front of the husband though, which makes it tough.
yeah, that's true. I guess he's not that stupid. Um, God, I don't know, that really fucking sucks. I feel like maybe, like, spin it and be like, "Wow, like, I really fucked that guy up to the point where his whole family is still thinking about me years later."
Yeah. I mean, if you do end up speaking to this man at some point, which it seems like at some point there will probably be some exchange, which
Mhm.
I'm so sorry that you have to deal with it at all. I think like my reaction, especially if I'm drinking at a bar, I would be like, what the fuck is wrong with you? But you just have to make like I would go in angry, but I think if you like made him feel really stupid, that could be the best route of just what are you doing?
Yeah, like, what? Literally call him a weirdo, call him a freak.
Yeah, like, I wouldn't, like, get mad and yell
Yeah,
because that I think getting a rise out of you is what he wants, but, like, I I feel like I guess if you do end up saying something, which I think we're both kind of leaning towards don't, just for your
mhm,
safety and, like, his clearly, like, idiot friends who are joining in with him, I don't want you to have to deal with them either.
yeah.
But if you do ever end up, like, having to speak to him, I would just be like, I don't even know who you are. Like, why are you acting like this? It's so bizarre.
Yeah, you can pretend like you don't know him either, like you did
And
with the
then,
boy. I
and you could
love
just
that. That is
walk
so
away.
beautifully full circle too that she got to IRL ghost him as well.
Yeah. That is
So
crazy. An
lovely.
IRL ghost is crazy. I guess men do that a lot, but like, there's nothing wrong with just saying, even if you have no interest in someone you hooked up with, someone you have a past with, say hello and walk away. That's like
Literally,
that's the best way to do it.
it's bare fucking minimum. Bare minimum.
Also, we had to talk about really quickly him reading her fucking
Oh
journal
yeah,
on a
I
one
forgot
night
about that.
stand.
It's
I
so
think I would have
mean.
to like shoot him or something. I don't
I was
know.
just about to say I'd have to murder him. He's not getting out of my apartment.
That is, and him reading it out loud and mocking it. I would
Yeah,
literally, I would cry and be so angry. It doesn't matter what's in your journal. Like she said, it's not that embarrassing. It literally doesn't matter. It's so, like, that's your inner thoughts. That is so messed up. And who is in like a random one night stand's house and opens a journal and starts reading it?
no, he seriously sounds like so incredibly scary. I kept thinking, I was like, please let this just be a one night stand. Like, I don't want her to enter into a relationship with this guy because, yeah, if you're doing that in a stranger's home, like you just said, like, I feel like he's capable of so many other scary things. I would feel awful. Like, I thought he was going to be like, oh, sorry, like he got caught doing it. But then to read it and mock it, ugh,
It just gives like, I don't know how to describe this, but like he's probably a narcissist. Like, I don't know how you, I just don't know how you can't like
feel bad
see that
about
that's
that.
wrong. Like yeah, feel bad
Yeah.
about that. I don't know.
Yeah. He
Sociopath.
he probably lacks all kinds of empathy.
Well, clearly they had some bad parents, so
Yeah. They sound fucking terrible. I, like, completely missed the part that they were in Ireland until you said American accent, which is pretty cool.
yeah,
Yay.
but it's like it's her hometown, so she must have but then she is American? I don't really know. But
Born there, moved to the US maybe,
yeah,
one
that's
of
what I was
those.
thinking. Sounds like a really cool life though, and fun that her and her husband got to move back there.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, obviously, we did the most, like, touristy things imaginable when we went to Dublin, but I
Hmm.
seriously, like, going to Ireland was one of the best few days of my entire fucking life, and, like, I I mean that, like, wholeheartedly, like, seriously so much fun.
I want to go back and kind of like experience it in less drunk way. Cause
Yes, and
that's the only
actually, like,
time I've
see
ever been
things.
to. Yeah. Cause we didn't
Yeah.
get to go to like the cliffs or anything because it's kind of
Mhm.
far. And we didn't really have money. So it was like I remember some people were doing that and everything was just like too expensive. And we were staying in like the a pretty gross hotel, but since it was St. Patrick's Day, it was so expensive. So we like couldn't like
Yeah.
go do excursions or anything. And we wanted to get drunk with our friends the whole time, but
Well, yeah, of course. I remember on actual St. Patrick's Day sobbing because I had no money and I had to ask my parents to Venmo me because I also still had a whole week in Spain. I
yeah,
had no
God, yeah.
fucking money. Oh,
And
God.
then luckily you got so sick that you could barely do anything in Spain anyway, so you didn't need the money.
Yeah, actually, you're right. Put that
Well, my
right into my
fucking the
savings.
also the reason I didn't have money is because we missed our flight to Ireland and had to buy a new one.
Oh my God, I forgot about that. And wasn't it like thousands of dollars?
Yes, and here's the thing. Like, so I had friends visiting. Emily was also visiting, but like not visiting me really, but like was
Kind
also.
of.
Yeah,
Yeah.
anyway, I had friends from college staying with me. They did their Spain leg first, and then we ended with Ireland for St. Patrick's Day. And then they were flying back to to Mississippi after that. And so we had to get them to Ireland. So when we missed our like their international flight was from Dublin. When we missed our flight, we like there was no choice. It wasn't like, oh, we'll just cancel the weekend and stay here. We had to get another
Yeah.
ticket. And the worst part about this whole situation is looking back, I wish I would have been more selfish, but like I I couldn't, but like they had their checked bags, and the reason that we could not go was because they couldn't check their bags. So like our flight with my carry-on, I still could have gotten on.
And you decided to stick with them.
Yeah, Yeah.
I mean, that's really sweet of you. I understand what you're saying, though.
Anyway, no one cares about my flight travels. We can move on. Do you have another story?
I do. Let me see here. Okay. Hello, Emily and Kat. I've been listening a long time, and you both know how to keep us. I love the pod and even listen at the gym. That's how you know I really like it. I'm sharing my sister's story from my perspective because while my life is eventful, it's not problematic at the moment, not yet at least. Here it goes. My sister, who is 30, started seeing this guy probably over a year ago. He's super good looking. We'll call him Guy. My sister originally said Guy was out of her league. Obviously not true, but over this almost year and a half beyond looks, I know that this man is the scum of the earth. Why, you might ask? He led her on, asked too much of her in a situationship, and cheated on her under the guise of ethical non monogamy. For a bit of background, my sister's a nurse, has a full time job, has clinicals on Saturdays, and sometimes has a part time job on Sundays. Long story short, she's busy. The stuff outside of those time takers can really only add positively to her life and not take up too much time. Guy did the opposite of both of those. To add to that, he's been unemployed for over 6 months. He has enough money to pay for the things he needs, but he has a shitty car and won't replace it till he gets a new job. This information comes in handy later, I promise. I'm big on details, but I will try to keep this as short as possible. Basically, Guy and my sister were in a regular situationship for about 8 months. They could see other people, but they weren't, and they were basically dating without the title because he was scared of commitment. Those 8 months were like, all right, this is fine. But she often came to me and her friends about how she was feeling insecure with some stuff that he would say or do. And situationships are new to her, so that made sense to me. But now I know that he was just looking for the next best thing. Now for the three big hitters of City of Assholes Population Guy. Number one, he had the audacity to tell my sister that she doesn't know what hard work is. Reminder, he's unemployed and she's doubly employed and in school for nursing. Number two, even though he has enough money, he wouldn't drive or pay for an Uber to meet her when she literally drives all over Chicago for this man. Number three, they tried out ethical non monogamy, as I said earlier, for a period of time because they wanted to find a third, and it seemed interesting to them both. My sister's one condition was that he had to tell her when he was talking to other people and before he met up with them or had them over. Want to guess which of the grand total of one guidelines he broke? Ding, 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 you guessed it. He cheated multiple times. When my sister had suspicions about that, she called him immediately. Want to guess who was in his apartment when they had that hour-long conversation? Right again, the girl he cheated on my sister and slept with. She was also there the same day that they had hooked up and just before they made up, before she finally ended things. Naturally, he didn't change the sheets in between that. I know this might not sound bad as it really is because they agreed to ethical non monogamy, but that's my sister. It makes me feel so bad for her and mad at him. This is mostly just a story, but if you have any advice for her, let us know. Thanks for reading this far and for consistently making such a lovely podcast.
Is she still with him? Is that where the advice is needed?
I don't think so, no, but maybe how to prevent it in the future. I don't know. I think one of the reasons why I wanted to discuss this, I just feel like it is such a red flag, like, specifically if you're looking for a third, to have the man drive the conversations for a potential third. I think that's crazy.
Yeah, I agree.
Like,
It should at the very minimum, I mean,
be
it should be
both of
both of
you.
you. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%, but, like, if you're just, like, putting that responsibility, I think, on one partner, I think that's where it gets a little, like, seems like it could be a bit of cheating.
Yeah. I mean, here's the thing. I don't understand, like, when people cheat, how are they able to just like, with the girl there, like, call your girlfriend or
Mhm.
partner or whatever, situationship, like, and then have her over the same day. Like, I'm like, "If you cheat on me, can you at least, like, give me a fucking day and wash your sheets?"
No,
Like, let's just
actually,
not do same day.
disgusting.
Like,
Absolutely disgusting.
it's so gross. I don't understand how people can do that and live with themselves.
I mean, it's, like, back to the whole, like, the other guys in the last story, like, to walk through life like this careless and act like such a narcissistic asshole and not have any regard. Like, I mean, we get thousands, millions of stories of guys just being complete assholes, and they leave me speechless every time. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
I, like, try not to read them because most of them are all this. I mean, I
Yeah.
every obviously I do, but I'm saying, like, I'm actively trying to avoid them because we're talking about it all the time, and it's just crazy how much there is. It's so fucking scary. I don't know
Women
how
get so
people
wronged. Ugh, makes me
I
sick.
just don't know how you can act like that and live with yourself.
I
Ew.
know. I felt like it has been a while since we've done, like, a deep dive on, like not a deep dive, but, like, had longer conversations about men being assholes, so I wanted to read
No,
that to get
yeah.
everyone back on track.
I think it was due. I think it was time. So I think it was a good decision.
Yeah.
Well, I think in the future, I guess they never like fully committed, right?
Yeah, mhm.
I know this situation's different. Like she said, yeah, it's less bad because they were doing like ethical monogamy or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
But it's just like it's just a respect thing at the end of the day. But I think in the future, it seems like she just like has her shit together and
Mhm.
should want to find someone that is able to commit to her fully, which I don't even know if that's what she wanted or not. It didn't seem like she was like begging for it, which it's totally fine if it's not, but I just feel like she deserves someone that's much more her speed and like wants to commit and isn't doing like all these shenanigans. And you'll be able to find that out before 8 months is the only like advice I can give, I feel like.
1000%. I mean, it's like one thing, yeah, for a guy to not commit and then to bring up the threesome stuff, like, it just compounds, and I feel like those situations, like, we've talked about it before, it all starts happening so fast before you realize you're like, "Oh my god, I'm in way too deep, and this guy's the fucking worst," and then next thing you know, it's 8
Yeah.
months later, and he's cheating on
Yeah.
you.
Right. I mean, we've talked about it so much, but I really do think like the 3 month rule is pretty accurate in like
Mhm.
all of my experience, which isn't like that much, I guess. But I just feel like if someone's still like dragging their feet after 3 months, like I don't know, I'm like, you know what you want in 3 months. Like it just, I really do think that's like a good rule to live by if you're looking for something serious.
I completely agree, 100%. Kyle and I said, "I love you," after 3 months, like
Yeah, I just feel like yeah, and even if you don't know if you love each other, like
yeah, but, like, you just
you know how you feel. Yeah.
Mhm. Absolutely.
Anywho, I think we can wrap it up here. I want to say
Yeah.
thank you to everyone that bought merch. I love you guys so
Yeah.
much, and I'm so excited to see everyone in their gorgeous sweatshirts. It is closed now, but everyone will get them before Christmas, which is exciting. Um, and yeah, thank you for listening. I love you guys.
Yep, thank you guys so much. We'll talk to you next week.
Bye.